She stops replying fast. Her responses are suddenly colder. You feel the shift, and everything inside of you wants to fix it. That's the masculine inside of you saying, hey, something is broke. Let's repair it. Let's get back to normal. But if you chase her now, you lose her. Here's exactly what to do when your girl pulls away and why most men handle it wrong. Because we're men, we are biologically programmed to have more analytical or logical thinking than women are. Women usually respond with emotion, whereas men usually respond with logic as far as relationships go. Okay, I'm not saying one is smarter than the other, because I think from what I've read, women are actually on average smarter than men are. But when it comes to a relationship, men tend to bring our analytical mind into our emotions. And then we tend to bring our analytical mind into her emotions. And we think it'll work just fine for her because it works just fine for me. And we find out the hard way, eventually, that yeah, that doesn't work. When she pulls away, it doesn't usually mean that it's over or that anything is really wrong, especially in the beginning of the relationship. And here's what I mean. During the honeymoon phase, you both are validating yourself to the other. You're wearing a mask to the other person, and you're trying to be everything that the other person is looking for. If you're honest with yourself, you're going to sit there and say, yeah, okay, I can see how I did that. That wasn't really me. I was just really trying to give it, 110% during those first couple of weeks, maybe even couple of months, just because I was trying to land her. And she feels the exact same way, by the way. Is this good? Who's to really say? I'm not the frickin' morality police over here. Is it normal? Yes, I can say that with absolute certainty. Every single person does this to varying degrees. And here's what happens. It takes emotional energy to keep up that mask to her. It takes her emotional energy to keep up that mask for you. Some people can wear that mask for longer periods of time than others because, and probably solely based on how much emotional energy they have and can put up with. So they will exhaust themselves horribly during the first couple weeks, like I said, couple months of the honeymoon period, just to be what you really want. And at the end of that honeymoon period, one of two things is going to happen. Number one, the mask always falls. But when the mask falls, she's either going to be a similar person to who her mask was, or she's going to be a totally different person compared to what her mask was showing you. And just after the honeymoon phase, when that mask drops and you can finally see the other person for who they are, she's going to need to pull away because she needs to rest. She's taken up all her emotional energy and used it on you and on this mask just so that you'll fall in love with her. So now what she needs to do is to pull away to rest. And yeah, you can finally see her for who she is. And the worst thing you can do is chase after that because she's going to feel pressure to keep up the mask. And she knows that's not really me. If this guy doesn't love me for me by now, it's never going to work out. And so she pulls away further and further and further because she can't keep up that mask. She's got to either let that mask go permanently or let go with enough time to put that mask back on with enough emotional energy once it's recouped. That's also part of the reason that exes will tend to get back with one another and kind of ping pong to one another every few months. What ends up happening is they fall in love with each other's masks, not who they really are. So for a couple months, they'll get together, maybe just a couple weeks, depending on how toxic or incompatible you really are. And everything's great for a while, for a couple weeks, for a couple months. And then guess what? Things fall apart, and they fall apart because you're not your mask. You cannot keep up that energy. One of you or both of you is going to have to pull away and recoup. And when they pull away, the relationship ends. So then after a couple months, once that emotional energy has recouped, instead of just having the balls to be who you really are, you're both going to put that mask back on because you think that's the only way this other person is going to love you, respect you, or maybe you're not compatible and you know that deep down, but you really like something about this other person. It's probably the validation that they give you because you're insecure about yourself. That's a whole nother video. And you're going to put that mask back on even though it cost you emotional energy, but you've stored up for a couple of months, right? Now you're ready to give it another go and you think this time it'll be different. And the same thing happens. A couple weeks, a couple months later, guess what? The mask comes off. You're emotionally drained of this other person. And you even hear people say that. You'll talk to your friends and you'll ask them, how are things between you and so-and-so, or what happened between you and that guy or that girl? And they'll say, well, they were just too emotionally draining. That's what they really mean. If they were to follow that thought out, what they're trying to tell you is they were emotionally draining because I was pretending to be someone I really wasn't in order to keep them. That's where the drain comes from. So that is the toxic side of the mask. Let's look at the healthy side, because like I said, every single person is going to go through a honeymoon phase in a relationship. So we're leaving behind the toxic one. Now we're going to focus on the, let's just say, average one, okay? Like I said, everybody wears the mask, and eventually a couple weeks, a couple months, something like that, the mask will come off, the mask falls. You can see the other person for who they truly are. And yes, it takes emotional energy for them to keep that up. But in this example, you both actually love each other for who you really are. Now she's got to pull away, yes, to conserve her emotional energy, but also to give you a chance to really see her for who she is, to not fall apart, so that she can see you for who you really are and to test your strength. In this sense, she pulls away to emotionally regulate herself. She's watching you to see what you're going to do when she pulls away. Just because it's been 2, 3, 4 days, maybe even a week or two since you guys have talked, are you going to fold? Are you going to text her, call her, blow up her phone, accuse her of doing something stupid? Because all of that does nothing but let you bleed emotionally, and bleeding out all over your conversations, all over your social media for her is unattractive, and it'll push her further away. Don't panic. You let her pull away, because all women do this, all of them. Especially if she's the mother of your child, or if you guys have been in a long distance relationship, or if you guys have been with each other for a while. Everybody needs space to themselves every once in a while. And there's nothing wrong or toxic about that. The other person, man and woman, they're going to pull away just for a little while, maybe a day or two. And it doesn't mean that they're completely ignoring you, right? It's not to say that if you have kids, they're going to ignore your kids, because that's a different issue. We're just talking about pulling away emotionally. They get a little cold or whatever. She's watching your reaction when she pulls away. Her nervous system wants to see how stable you are, because her nervous system, her heart, her soul, whatever you want to call it, she wants to be able to trust you and your masculine frame so that she can truly come to you with any feeling, thought, or emotion that she has. That's how you teach a woman to rest in you, so that in the future, she doesn't have to pull away from you to rest in you. And here's what I mean. We all have people in our life where we can just sit back and we can watch Netflix with them for hours. They don't stress us out one bit. And then we have other people, friends or whoever, where we can barely make it through a half-hour meal with them because they stress us out so bad. The same is true with your partner. So if you chase, panic, blow up at her, you're only going to confirm her doubts about you. And I can already hear the guys who don't know the game. Oh, I don't play this game. Women always play games with me. I just pull away. I dump them and I'm done. It's like, dude, all women are going to do this. Either learn the game or f off. I'm so sick and tired of seeing these little boys in my comments. If a woman pulls away from me, I'm done. It's like, dude, they all do. What are you going to because she's a woman? Go f a dude. I'm dead serious. You do not belong with women. Sick of you little crybaby motherfuckers. Look, I know I'm chewing on you, but shut the f up, learn the game, or get the f out of the game. Damn, little bro, come on. So what do? You step back. You don't chase. You don't leave either. Notice I said step back. You don't just bolt and say, screw this, I'm done with the relationship, I'm taking the kids, I haven't heard from you in 16 hours, we're over. It's like, okay, calm down a little bit, all right? This is normal. I understand, maybe you're young, you're just learning all this stuff, and I'm chewing on you a little bit. But in a sense, you want to mirror her energy. In other words, when she's going cold, you go a little cold. You're not going to be disrespectful to her, and you're not going to let her be disrespectful to you either. Big difference. But there are going to be times where your woman is going to pull away, and it could literally just be for a few hours. Maybe she just needs a couple hours to binge watch a couple shows on Netflix, and she's totally fine. You've handled the kids for a while. She just needed a little bit to herself. After that, she's going to be very loving to you. She's going to be very open to you, at least if, she's healthy. And I've seen some guys that blow up on her, be like, oh, I was with the kids for 4 hours. Where were you? It's like you do the right thing to earn her trust, right? You take one step forward and then 2 steps back because you're going to whine and moan like a little. You've already won the war, my guy. She's already your girl. She already trusts you. This is how you make her trust you even more, to where she doesn't have to keep pulling away. She can rest in your masculine frame. But she's got to test it first before she's willing to trust it. Kind of like dipping your toes in the water before you just jump in the pool. You give her space without punishment. If she wants to watch a couple of Netflix shows by herself, let her, man. Again, everybody just needs time to themselves sometimes. And again, you don't leave, you don't disappear on her, you just detach. You could be in the same room, and for a couple of hours, you just detach. You let her do her thing. You're going to do your thing. Maybe be with the kids for a while she relaxes. Maybe draw her a bubble bath, man. Sometimes you got to pamper your lady, especially if she is officially your lady. You should definitely be pampering her. And what I really see is your anxiety start to take control. You're scared already. Even if you're in the same room as her, that you know you're losing her, you better do something. And it's the illusion of action. It's I've got to do something to make this work, when oftentimes the answer to a relationship problem from a man's perspective is just to detach. It's to go silent. It's to just watch. And honestly, guys, whenever she pulls away, especially if you don't have a kid, so that she pulls away maybe for a day or two, even if you're dating, you're not official, you're not living together or anything like that, it should actually fill you with a little bit of pride and a little bit of happiness because, okay, she's going to pull away for a while. That's actually great. I've been wanting to binge this game with my bros and, just play for like 8 hours straight one day when I'm off work. This is perfect. She can go, have a spa day, do whatever. Here, baby, here's $50 on me. Go pamper yourself. Me and my boys are going to play freaking Skyrim for the next 100 hours, And that's not really an example of probably what an adult man should be doing. But I mean, come on, every now and again, it's absolutely fine to go out with your boys, all right? Now, when she comes back, and she's going to come back, man, she's not going to leave you if you handle it right, I guess. You respond like a king. And what I mean is there's no passive aggressive tone in your voice at all. If she came back after 3 hours, 3 days, or 3 weeks, you say, well, anyway, you want to get Taco Bell? It doesn't bother you. Whatever. You're just like, okay, cool. Now, look, I'm not saying that if she does disappear for 3 weeks that you take her back, but I am saying you don't necessarily wait on her. So if during those 3 weeks you legitimately meet somebody and you decide to go out with them, that's absolutely fine. You're not waiting on them. But at the end of 3 weeks, if you're not with somebody new and she comes back in, you're just like, okay, neat, great, I don't care. Stay warm, confident, and unbothered. There is nothing that woman could ever do to knock you off your frame. She could pull away. She could get really close. She could pull away again. She could blow up at you. She could yell at you. She could do all these other things, but you will never lose your frame. And like I said, you're not going to tolerate disrespect because that's a whole nother video, whole nother subject. But it's almost kind of cute, especially if they're like 5 feet and like Latina. I don't know what it is with us white guys and little Latinas with an attitude problem. Like, that's got to be scientific, man. There's something in our DNA. I don't know what that is. But anyway, when they get mad, it's just cute. Like, you got to do everything in your power not to just laugh at them. Like, it's really difficult. You're not upset. You're just like, you got to like hold that face. You're like, I'm taking this super seriously right now. You're not, it kind of looks a little hot. Good memories. When she comes back, she's not looking for punishment in the emotional sense. She's checking to see if the man that she respects is still there. And generally speaking, the more you stay grounded, the faster that they come back because they realize that you are strong and that they can trust you with their emotions. And I keep telling guys this, one of the sexiest things about you is your emotional intelligence and your ability to create an emotionally safe environment. Your silence, your peace, and your confidence are the very things that she wants to reconnect with. They're the things that make her miss you. Let me say this and I'll shut up. You cannot control her feelings, but you can control your frame. And I know that that's the scariest part about a relationship is that no matter what I do, no matter how good of a man I am, it doesn't guarantee that that woman's going to treat me well, going to stay, or going to be loyal. That's why it's so important to vet women. Again, another topic. But you don't have to micromanage her emotions. In other words, some days she's going to be angry. She's going to have a bad temper. Some days she's going to be very sad. Some days she's going to be very happy. All of those things just roll right off of you. Doesn't matter. You are the same day in and day out. What I mean by that is you're going to have your good days and bad days as well, but you as a man are to be happy, sad, mad, glad, whatever, about the exact same thing. So one day, your truck not working shouldn't bother you any more than any other day, even if it's a bad day. Don't lose your cool, don't lose your temper, don't lose your masculine frame over a hunk of junk. Typically, you learn this in the high school, college area where you start to get your first like serious girlfriend and you learn how they pull away. And hopefully you learned when you were younger that when she does pull away, you learn how to lead yourself, that you don't need her to regulate you for you. It's knowing how to carry yourself when things are not perfect. Because I got news for you, man, they are hardly ever truly perfect. So lil bro, all women pull away. Absolutely. All of them. 100% of them. It's not some weird game to them. It's a subconscious test that they place on you that weak men buckle under. So when she pulls away, and she will, breathe, let her. You'll be fine. She'll be fine. The majority of women, when they pull away, they don't pull away because there's another guy involved. The majority of women pull away, like I said, to emotionally regulate themselves or to just rest. Everybody needs a day, man. Just let her have one. Let her have a few hours. Let her have a week. Who cares? If you chase her when she pulls away, she's going to pull away even harder, and she's going to question why she's even in a relationship with such a weak man. Even if she never says it out loud, that's exactly what she's going to be thinking. Also, don't forget, in the description above, there is my link. So if you want to schedule something with me, talk to me, let me know what you're going through. We'll schedule something. We'll get a game plan going. So little bro, you've got nothing to worry about. Relax. I've got you. You've definitely got this. And I'll see you in the next one.